Jokes are for now, but friends are forever.
Hey, what's up, Red? What's up, Note?
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
Okay. What's on the list for today? 5-star C6. I mean, I don't know if we're trolling, but some people do, and that is too many. What are your sirens? Because I live in the city, man. Big city life. Big city life. Big city living. Alright. Man, I ain't rich. Stop asking for a handout. You think I am M-Tash or whatever the fuck? Maybe when I get a Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship, homie.
You've got nothing else to do. Why don't I tell you a story?
Alright, so... Let me think here. Okay, so I got a plan here a little bit. I am planning on getting Ganyu, probably C0. I am just kind of torn on how I would use her. So I don't really like Ganyu's gameplay a ton. I do have her weapon. I have an Amos bow. I gotta get it to 90. It's not 85, whatever. So that's one part, and I also need more. Goddamn, I am broke. I have Amos bow. I threw on Aloy a tentative Ganyu set, which I think would mostly work for Melt, although I think I'd probably want to swap this piece out for, I don't know, like a Elemental Mastery set. Something, maybe like that piece. So I don't know. I don't know if I have a better EM piece actually. Point is, I'd want to swap out. I don't know if I mean, this piece is pretty sick, but I'm not taking it from Cosmo. That's about as good as you get for Viridescent Vanner pieces. So I would probably run something like this with. She gets crit damage ascension, so she'd have like 71, 60 something, I think. What does she get? She gets up to. She had 30? I can't remember how much crit damage she gets. So I probably would have to swap out an EM piece with decent crit damage. For Melt Ganyu, I probably have a couple decent ones. Like this one when I level up. 69 is good for Melt Ganyu. Freeze Ganyu, obviously you get the free crit rate, but for Melt Ganyu, you're running Amos, right? Her crit stats aren't going to be amazing. Yeah, so I'm also thinking about using my Amber build when I want to use Ganyu. That would put her at like 64, 1 something, I forget, like 150 probably, crit damage, with 4-piece Noblesse and Elegy for that attack buff. The EM is mostly wasted unless I'm running an Animo, then a little bit more swirl damage. But the attack buff is decent, 20%. Plus she would need ER for burst botting. Yeah, 4-piece Wanderers is almost as good as Shimenawa, but doesn't have the energy, skill usage, kind of mini game that you got to play with it a little bit. But I mean, getting Wanderers pieces is not particularly easy. Co-op, we could do a couple we can do some co-op at this stream. We either could do a couple rounds of Wind Trace. I actually still need a couple of rounds of Wind Trace non-co-op to get the last few weapon ores from it. And then yeah, I don't know if anyone needs like bosses or anything, or if people want to try out Yunjin Shenhe still. What do we have, like 1 day left on Shenhe? What's up, Alze? Why am I gonna get Ganyu? I don't know, just for collection mostly. I might use a team with. I have to do a little bit of math to see if it's actually worthwhile for this team. But Ayaka, Shenhe, Ganyu, and then either a Hydra or Anemo, depending on what I'm doing, seems viable. I already run that team, but with Rosaria instead. And I think Ganyu would be an upgrade with Elegy. Well, you'll get a free Yunjin if you pick her up. But yeah, I would do a support Ganyu most likely. But I do have a functional Melt Ganyu kit on Aloy. It's not amazing, but it's usable. So, and then I have a usable Noblesse set. The one thing I don't really have is a 4-piece Blizzard set for Ganyu if I ran her with Ayaka. If I don't, then I could just take Ayaka's gear and give it to Ganyu. So I don't know. It's like I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to slot her in. The fact that I have like 3 possible builds for Ganyu and we don't have artifact presets is very fucking annoying, frankly. I also need to farm her books, but I think her books are on Tuesday. She used Diligence books, which I think are Tuesday. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I still have a day to get that. My Eula build really desperately needs a better crit helmet. So what I'll typically do is run this. Bill, what's up, Zane? So what I would typically do is run this build on Eula in a mono cryo team, which the crit rate gets down to 36, but then goes up to like 40 with cryo, or sorry, 50 with cryo resonance. And then Rosaria's burst doesn't buff the crit on her burst because of the way the rotation would work out, but it does for her autos, and then you could just kind of crit fish a little bit. And I don't run like Fischl, who's stripping cryo resonance, so I actually do have cryo resonance on a Eula team. It works because obviously with Eula having all that damage on a burst, you can just reset it if the burst doesn't crit. But man, I desperately need like either a better crit rate mask or I don't know, I guess a couple of good pieces. I haven't built her better because frankly tenacity, I don't really need it. I could put tenacity on Kokomi, but I'm not a min-maxer. I like Kokomi's build as is in Clam set. What I run was a Ganyu, Diona, Kazuha, Ayaka. Yeah, that seems good. I mean, I have Shenhe, so I feel like it'd be waste not to use Shenhe. To normal attack, to keep the hone buff up, I think. Yeah, to keep the like resistance shred up. So here's I gotta do my dailies. So I'll do my dailies. I need a lot of books still too. I only have this many, which is not enough for Ganyu. Yeah, I'm not really prepared for Ganyu. I've been kind of going on the fence about getting Ganyu, but I do think Ganyu could be good in a Shenhe Ayaka team when there's no freeze. I tend to think that a freeze team with an Anemo is probably just better, but if I'm just doing cryo damage, I think a Ayaka, Kazuha, Shenhe, Ganyu team would be probably a step up over Rosaria on that team. But I'm going to start with just a couple rounds of this. What I'll probably do is swap out. I need either Noblesse or Wanderers pieces. Again, I think my Shimenawa set is fine enough that I don't really want to fuck around with Wanderers too much. Ooh, yeah, Mora. Hopefully we get some more events, man. Those events, the events I feel like have been giving out a lot of Mora lately. I remember we had like one event that gave out a crown and like a million fucking Mora. That was good. I'll take more of that.
Off we go. Observe. The grand finale. Teamwork is strength. Eyes on me. Time for a light show. Here comes the fireworks.
Rack.
Adventure time.
Did I miss? Did she miss this first? I swear to God, like every fucking time.
Fuse is lit.
Come off quick. Well, I do a couple of these. I don't know if I'm gonna use. I have like 5 condensed resin. I'll probably use a couple here, maybe 3. And then I'll think about it. I do need to just start farming some ley lines. I am definitely. I think I have sets that I could use Ganyu Day one, so it's actually kind of a waste. I should just be farming bugs, but I definitely fucking hate. Of course the Hydro. Of course the Hydro damage bonus is on the Blizzard Trader one. Of course it is, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. Every time. I have a Cryo Hydro one, so very very good, totally fair. I'm sure it's not rigged whatsoever. Here, let me show you. Hydro, it was decent. Cryo damage. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it was decent. Of course it's not. Hey, what's up, Moon? Of course it's on the other set. The RNG in this game is so fucking dumb. I hate it so much, man. It's so dumb.
Everybody stand back. Break a leg. And leap.
I feel like there's been like some sluggish skill usage in the game since the last patch. Like I swap and it takes a second to like use the skill. Of course, yeah. It's very rare that I'll get like a decent comp. I'm trying to think like who. Raiden. I got kind of lucky with Raiden's. It's not the best, but because it's on set, that makes up. So that's pretty good for an on-set goblet, right? Because it does help, right? Because that means you can use an easier time, like getting a better crit rate circlet or whatever. So an on-set goblet can be a little bit worse than a non-on-set goblet. I'm trying to think who else is like a good one. Zhongli. Pretty much like perfect substats for him, distribution-wise. Attack Goblet on Raiden would be worse for me. There's only very specific times when you want to use an Attack Goblet on Raiden. I've seen that suggestion, but it's not actually usually good. It's actually just sometimes good. Like an Attack Goblet on Raiden would be good if you were using non-engulfing lightning, using an energy recharge sands, and then running, right, like the Electro. But if you were running a DPS C0 with non-engulfing lightning and with an attack sands, you're probably going to want to use an Electro Goblet. The fact that if you're running like Sarah and Bennett, almost always I think an Electro ends up being better. But because of engulfing, you just generally almost always want an Electro because you build the high energy recharge with engulfing and then it converts it to an attack, so she doesn't have a shortage of attack stat anymore. So really with engulfing, I don't think there's really any time when you want to use an attack goblet with engulfing lightning. But it's fine, it's all pretty close. It's not like it's the worst thing in the world. It's just not optimal. I mean, if you got a really good attack Sands, or sorry, attack Goblet. But I actually haven't really gotten very many good attack Goblets. More like good attack Goblet I put on Shenhe. And Shenhe, actually, this could be on set because Shenhe can run 4-piece Noblesse pretty well, actually. So this is actually a pretty baller attack Sands for Shenhe if you run her 4-piece Noblesse. Which I might do. I guess that might be the way to go, right? Maybe you'd want to do 4-piece Noblesse on Shenhe, 4-piece Blizzard on Ayaka and Ganyu, and run burst DPS Ganyu. As opposed to like support Ganyu. And then run a Hydro, Mona, or Kokomi.
Let's light it up! Power that ended fight! Unleash! Strike is one! Let's light it up! Teamwork is...
I don't have Ganyu at the moment, but I think I'll probably pull for C0. In a day or two. When is it? Is it 2 days? 2 days? I'll get Ganyu, I guess. My Ganyu will always be pretty, like, secondary, though. I'm not gonna have, like, a very god-built Ganyu ever, I don't think. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty bad. That one's not that bad. Great damage, okay. That's what we need. I'll do one more here. It doesn't feel like that big a voice, because even if I ran support Ganyu or whatever, I can always run a team with 4-piece Blizzard with, like, Kaya or something. I just need to build them up, too. That just occurred to me. I need to do the boss a bunch of times, too. My gosh.
Let's light it up! Unleash! I'm going in! Enough eyes on me! Unleash! Break aloud! The fuse is lit!
Yeah. I've always been kind of on the fence about getting Ganyu. I've never been a no on Ganyu, and I kind of wanted to run a support Ganyu and like freeze, not freeze, but like melt Yoimiya. If you ran, I've already run a melt Yoimiya before, and it actually is viable if you have multiple sources of cryo. I've run it with Rosaria and Diona, and it's actually worked out okay. But if I ran like Diona, Rosaria, and Ganyu or something, then actually
have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
Maybe I would run Shenhe, because then I could get a little bit of a normal attack buff on Yoimiya. I don't know, we'll see. I'll mess around with it. Seems kind of fun. It's not spam left click. It's hold left click. Yeah, hold it for a second. If it were me, I might swap out. Well, I guess I would do. There's a couple things you could do. You could do Albedo, Chongyun, Rosaria, Xingqiu, and then you're running freeze Albedo, who is shattering, and then refreezing really quickly. That's if you want to like play main DPS Albedo. And then if you want to do like passive shatters, I actually think I would swap out Xingqiu for Kokomi. So Albedo, Rosaria, Kokomi, and then the fourth really could be anybody. Diona for more EM, or I think what else might throw on that team. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I guess Chong Yun is a decent option if you wanted to main DPS Albedo. But if you're doing Shatter Albedo, then he's really built Elemental Mastery, so he's off field probably, right? Yeah, I guess on that team, most of your damage is coming from not the Shatter, even if it is, right? The Shatter is going to probably proc for 20k on humanoids even, right? Right? It's not that much, right? It's like... Shatter, even at its peak, is not that much.
You've got nothing else to do. Why don't I tell you a story?
Yeah, I've run EM Yoimiya. It's actually not bad at all. It's good for AoE. You run it with Beto or whatever. Shrine cleanup. Some of these are so tedious, man. Is this one where I gotta blow leaves away? So dumb.
This is great. I feel so relaxed.
Her ICD is pretty trash. It's fine. Her ICD is fine. On overload, it's fine. We can just do it. I'll just show you real quick. Build Elemental Mastery. What is that? I'm just gonna half-ass it. Alright, I'm just gonna half-ass it with that. I don't like charge shot gun. I don't like playing as I don't like charge shot as a build or as a play style. Like Amber, I like even when I had C4 Amber, I used the Baron Bunny build.
All right, let's head off.
Okay. And just to make it a little bit easier, I'll throw on like a level 1 weapon on Beto. Just so like Beto's not doing all of the damage.
If you ever...
I'll throw on a level 1 weapon on Beto.
Let me amuse myself a little. Let's light it up! Over here! Boof! Over here!
Wind strike!
The more... Let's light it up!
Okay.
Off we go! Boof! Blink! Boof!
Yeah, I just don't find it super fun, mostly. And then the other thing I would just mention was like for Ganyu's, when I what's up, Paladin? Like when I run as like Raiden, if I'm like using Raiden on Azdaha, and then Ayaka, it's not Ayaka, Ganyu isn't using the burst and stuff, so I'm like always running on like 0 resolve on Raiden. So if you're just standing out in Azdaha and you see Raiden, by the way, in Azdaha, or just playing co-op, and you don't normally use your burst on Ganyu because you're just charge shotting, just pop it, get the resolve stacks for Raiden, be a homie. Plus, don't you get cryo bonus if you're in it anyway? Like, give yourself a little bit of a bonus. Pop it even on the edge of the playfield. So what were we doing? We were like 15, 20k overloads? Something like that? This is actually really good for, I didn't even use her burst, so actually if I had used her burst, I would have triggered more overloads. I totally forgot. But if you use her, I'm just like in a Shimenawa habit with Yoimiya.
Delicious pets.
But if you pop her burst, that extra pyro will help her trigger more overloads. So if you build her full EM with an electro off fielder to put the aura on, and then you're relying on Yoimiya to trigger overloads, throw her burst up first, and then between her autos and the burst, you'll trigger overloads pretty consistently, pretty fast, and that is 15, 20k overloads, depending on the amount of... Like, this isn't even a full EM builds. I can get it closer to, like, 800 something, almost 900 probably with full EM build. So if you do that, right, you just factor in that, like... and remember, I put Beto in a level 1 sword, so it's not like she was doing a ton of damage. Right. So it wasn't an entirely Beto DPS showcase, right? It was just level 1 weapon on Beto. And I didn't snap Bennett on her burst also on purpose. So that was just a like Beto as an aura, right? On multiple targets, Beto can be enough, yeah. Because Beto's initial burst of Beto already starts with an insane amount of Electro Aura. I think there's 4 units of Electro when you cast her burst. So everything will start with an insane amount of Electro already. So it's actually easier for Yoimiya to like not overtake Beto. If there's like 3 enemies or whatever, it's fine. Beto will constantly proc Electro and keep reapplying it. And then if there's for some reason like you're not, then just throw Fischl in as the alternative too. So Yoimiya, Beto, Fischl will 100% make Yoimiya the trigger. If you're worried about it. I also infused Kazuha Electro, and so I applied Electro with Beto, and then I infused Electro with Kazuha, and not Pyro. That would help too. So, yeah, Yoimiya, again, if you just do like some like real basic napkin math on it and you think about it, right? Like, Yoimiya does obviously way less single target damage, but she still does some single target damage. But because she's doing overloads, the more enemies there are, the more overload scales in damage, right? Why Kazuha, not Sucrose? Because my Kazuha is built, my Sucrose isn't, and my Kazuha gives 200 EM. So that would have made my Yoimiya's functional elemental mastery 934. But you could use Sucrose. If you did Sucrose, you could try to like structure your rotation to do. Yeah, but if you did, but Sucrose would be fine. You could do a Sucrose with Thrilling Tales buff on Yoimiya, right? Would be a decent buff on her. Now she's not running a ton of its like single target damage. It still actually helps her. But you know, if you wanted to like, balance it out. So actually, if you ran like let's say an EM Sans and just ran like kind of a hybrid build with like let's say EM Pyro crit, and you wanted stronger overloads. So actually, if you ran especially Yunjin and Bennett, Yoimiya's attack is actually really, really like washed out. Like it doesn't matter that much. I actually can do a quick demo of this. Let me pop on her actual normal shit real quick. And then I'll just show the difference. It's actually like very marginal between an EM and attack Sans. Just because there's so much damage bonus, not damage, like flat damage bonus and attack bonus on her when you run her with Bennett and Yunjin. That ain't right. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, it looks right. Okay. Let me now. I'll do a quick show. I'll just show. Cause actually, it's pretty interesting, like how minimal it is, and like because Yoimiya struggles AOE, it's actually, and sometimes I think it could be worth it. And if you ran a vape load Yoimiya, it's actually already less bad single target because the vapes would actually benefit from EM also. It's not optimal for single target to run EM on Yoimiya, but AOE I think it could be. So let's run like. I think we'd want like official probably. I think single target. It's just a show. I guess I won't use official though, just to show also. Nah, because that damage bonus is that damage bonus is well you could run 4-piece you could run 4-piece Crimson Witch with a full EM set if you have one. It's just not worth it for me for it because the 40% isn't multiplicative. It's additive. So when you're running like here's a character with a lot of EM, right? So if you see like his overload is already at 496%. If I had the 40% from Crimson Witch, right, it's just additive to that, which means it's actually only really like 10% more overload damage. Does that make sense? So it's really not that much more, unless it's like the only thing you're relying on. Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't have a lot of elemental mastery, then it does help a lot. But if you do have a lot of elemental mastery, that 40% being additive to that is not a ton. So it wouldn't really be that big of a difference than if you ran like, let's say, 2-piece Wanderers set or something. So it's not like resin efficient, and because it's kind of a meme build, I wouldn't spend resin on farming it specifically. So I already have EM pieces from farming Emblem. All right, that's why I was just like, I just popped those on because I had it. I could have thrown on like a couple of like I actually have a feather and flower I could have thrown on for like 80 more EM or something. Like I could have done a little bit more EM, but yeah, I'm gonna swap my. This will actually make it easier if I just do this. Let's see here, EM. Okay, so I'm just gonna swap out for this pyro here. It's worse stats, but it'll help for testing. Can I get to do I get to do a clean swap for Yoimiya. Okay, so let's just a quick demo here. I'm just gonna show like how little Yoimiya loses when you're buffing her with these other characters here. So I'm just gonna start with just Yoimiya's normals real quick. 63, 67, 64, and it goes up because she gains pyro bonus. So it got to like what, 66? Popped in there from my own memory. Something like that. It was like 6600 at the peak, right? It went from like 62 to 66, right? Something like that, right? Okay, and now I'm gonna add in.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
I'm gonna add in Bennett. Where's the thing? Oh, found his. Okay, I'm gonna refresh him.
Adventure time.
Go away. Oh my god, dude, go away. Alright. Now I'm gonna buff Yoimiya. This is with the attack sands.
I'm going in! Strike is one! Time for a light show!
19. 1978 to 20. So is it 19? It's like 19 something, like 1904 or 5. It's such a big fucking gap. God damn. To 20k. Okay. Something like that. Okay.
Fire hazard.
Okay, now I'm gonna swap her her sands to. It won't even matter that the sands is not fully leveled yet. I don't know if I ever will, but it's whatever. It's Shimenawa still. It's. Oh, I guess I could have just used the other pyro one. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here's elemental mastery. So we lost. What do we? We went from. Let's see here. What are we at? 20. We're at 21, 28? 21, 28 versus 26. So we're losing like 500 attack on this particular setup here. Okay.
And step.
Gotta get Yunjin's burst back.
Flags up. Observe.
Okay.
Teamwork is strict. Break a leg. The fuse is lit.
12, 13.
Good
Oh, I got the
down.
like 14 or something. So it went down, but it's not like that big of a game. Like loss. It went from like 6 something to like 20 to like 15 something. With a like level 17 trash piece here. So like, if you were in an AoE situation, or let's say this Abyss where it's mostly single target, it could be possible that like running an EM Sans might be viable. You have to do some math, right? Because she doesn't lose that much single target damage. Support Beto. I mean, if Beto's just like an off-field DPS, you probably want to run her emblem because she'll need a lot of energy recharge. I'd say 180 minimum energy recharge if she's solo Electro. Maybe like 150, 160 probably if she's with official. I guess if you're on official, maybe you could do like 140. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, the point of that was you can consider building more overload damage on Yoimiya, and the flat damage bonus that you get from Yunjin and the flat attack bonus that you get from Bennett diminish the value and importance of Yoimiya's own attack. So if you wanted to build Yoimiya for more AoE damage, again, I don't think for single target and probably even for maybe 2 targets it's worth it. But once you're at like 3, 4, or like in Flora 11, I think it is, with like 10 fucking Spectres, I actually do think running an AoE focused, like EM build Yoimiya, even if it's like a hybrid Yoimiya, can be worth it, I think. If you're like committed to using Yoimiya, I think the obvious answer is like, don't use Yoimiya for AoE, whatever. But it's like, this game is so easy that it's like, an easier way to think about this game is like, I want to use Yoimiya, how should I use her? And if you're thinking like, she's going to struggle to keep up in Abyss when there's like groups of 5 to 10 enemies and shit, running her with like Elemental Mastery for overload damage with Beto is, I think, optimal. Like, I actually think it's mathematically like, 1, it's not bad, and 2, it's I think probably the best way to use Yoimiya in that case. That's it. And again, if you run her with like solo Electro, Beto also actually struggles with like her damage because she's going to end up running so much energy recharge. But if you run her with Bennett, right? So I think if you run like 200 energy recharge Beto, high elemental mastery, you could do a hybrid build, Yoimiya, so you're not just flat EM. Like EM, Pyro, crit, Yoimiya, and then Yunjin and Bennett, you're going to have actually a very good balance of single target and AoE, I think. But Beto is kind of bad, I would say, in single target. And her Electro application will fall behind Yoimiya's Pyro on single target because it's not bouncing. Yeah, dude, I'll do some co-op, Drifty. I'm gonna do my dailies first, and then we'll do some like co-op stuff in a little bit, probably. Gonna knock out my dailies. I'm gonna do again, yeah, we can do a couple rounds of wind trays or whatever too. But if there's anyone who wants to try out again, like there's 2 days left for Shenhe and Yunjin. If you like want to try it, we can do a test of that too. We've already seen like GG get pretty cracked with Shenhe. It's pretty good to see. Missiles to do here, just defeat the opponents. I kind of want to run Goro instead of Bennett, just because I think Bennett's kind of boring. Bennett, peace out, homie. Beto,
Come with me.
you're in. Yeah, Chi-Chi's a little bit kind of a struggle sometimes. That crystallized shield coming in handy. Okay.
To ashes!
Press the advantage!
Your grand finale! Time for a light show!
Oh no, he's mad. I beat up his friend.
A festive reprise! Charm! Black fly!
Correct. Full support. Yunjin doing 27k. Not bad. Not bad. It is a little bit rough to run Chi-Chi, but I guess probably the best build for Chi-Chi these days is to run Sacrificial Sword and Clam Set and run her main DPS with that and rely on the Clam Set procs for a lot of damage. Yeah, Goro is Goro's doing a few different things actually. So Goro is using Fab at the moment. I like him with Elegy, but I'm using that on Amber and I just don't like swapping a lot. So he's providing energy to help keep Yunjin's buff up. That's one. Two, he's Geo, so he's giving me Geo Resonance, which is going to give me a little bit more damage. It's less damage than Bennett gives me, because the Pyro damage, or sorry, attack and Pyro Resonance is less than Geo Resonance. If you're doing main DPS Chi-Chi, you want to run her Clam with Sacrificial for the most damage. It's better than like even a kill of Avonia now. It's like the new best thing. The reason why you want Sac is so that she's got constant uptime on her heal, on her team heal, so that she can be constantly proccing full Clam AoEs. That ends up overtaking like a full DPS build. Chi-Chi, what's up, Lemon?
Fighting has ceased for
That's
now.
if you're using her on field. So, the other thing Goro is bringing is he's bringing so Yunjin doesn't benefit except for her skill. You thought that 27k is because of Goro's buff. Yeah, you can. We'll do some co-op. We can do a test with Yunjin for sure. Knock out my dailies and then we'll pop into co-op. We'll test out Yunjin and then we can do some win trees after that. We could do a couple bosses with Yunjin and stuff. There's other people who want to pop in. So for her skill, Goro gives for the skill alone 350 right now. And if his burst is up, another 20% to her. This here, no, 25%. When Yunjin goes off field, then the only buff she gets for her buff from Goro is the 25% defense, not this. This doesn't stick. So then you're getting Geo Resonance, and because he's C6, right, this is also helping her skill damage also. And again, so Geo Resonance and that, whatever. And then also, he's giving Yoimiya crystallized shields that automatically suck up onto her so she doesn't get interrupted, which she does get interrupted when she's on Bennett's Burst. Also, this follows her, so it doesn't require her to stand on a circle. And then, right, you see the 2 Geo as impregnable. Increased resistance to interruption, right? And defense, honestly, I think is a little underrated, but, like, it's really fucking squishy. And the defense buff does actually, it is actually noticeable, right? It makes crystallized shields beefier because of Geo Resonance and the defense buff. It constantly reapplies them, and with like constant crystallized, it does also heal. And he is giving 25% defense buff to Yunjin's buff. So, I mean, for me, I think it's good. And again, if he ran Elegy, which he could, then he could also be buffing 20% plus 100 EM for overload or vape damage for Yoimiya. Again, this is my preferred build, but it is, I just don't like swapping my pieces around. But also, I've been finding like the Fav energy is pretty nice for Yunjin as well, which means I don't have to weave an extra skill in for Yunjin. Basically, it makes my rotations a little bit smoother. So, like, obviously he's worse than Bennett. Like, everyone is worse than Bennett, but it actually has benefits that Bennett doesn't have. Namely, like, not tying her to a circle and providing more energy to Yunjin. When I did like my Yoimiya Abyss run with Yunjin, I ended up actually having to take Engulfing Lightning from Raiden to make it work with my current build because she needs so much energy that I actually found it to just be easier to just run Goro. Not like a better damage option than Bennett, but like easier, if that makes sense. Now you could like run, you could run Favoni's on her or whatever, but I prefer Deathmatch. Anyway, so he's providing some, but he's definitely weaker than Bennett for sure. But he does have benefits that Bennett doesn't have. She has 197. Dex, I have a video doing like 300 burst with Bennett, I think, in the overworld. That's something. Okay, so this is my Yunjin. Decent damage. And then this is enough with running like 2 Geo, but actually it's not enough to just tap. You actually kind of want like 240 energy recharge on Yunjin if you're running her as like the sole Geo. And again, it's typically optimal to tap rather than hold. The soft pity 75 or 80. I don't remember. I mean, I think I don't know if there's like a bump at 75, but definitely at 80. Right? Like no one gets to 90. Usually it's like between 80 to 85 was when you get it. Um, but the average probably is probably like 70s something. I would say the average because of people getting it early, right? Something like that. All right, I'll trust you. Yeah, I assume it's something like that. But I think it ramps up. So I can do like this, get some fab energy maybe, if I can get
Rally!
Alpha right? Yunjin got her shit up.
Strike is one. The fuse is lit.
Oh, aim up, Yoimiya. So annoying.
Flag fly.
Yeah, just that alone was enough to like get her burst up, pretty much. That's why I like it. I find it like just pretty easy to
Everyone
use.
on me!
You're grounded and now it's fire hazard.
Major build's pretty solid, yeah.
Flag fly.
Oh, wrong tower. I'm dumb. Although I mean, my Ito build is pretty much propped up entirely by like one piece and his weapon. There's actually a lot of room to grow on my Ito build. On his like, hey, what's up, Ben? I think his feather could be better. What's his feather at? Yeah, his feather is not that good. It's 26 crit value. 26 crit value is not that high. That could be bumped up, and it's on a feather, so it's like not that bad. This is pretty good because it's, what is that at, like 36, like 41, so that's pretty good. And then like the thing that makes it kind of hard is like, look at this. Okay, so look at this goblet, right? This goblet, it has defense and it has a little bit of crit damage, but like it's mostly dead weight, right? It's mostly dead weight. I mean, it's not the worst because of how much defense is on here. It's full of flat defense and high defense is good. Okay, great. There's not a lot of crit, but this like the whole piece, the whole set is being propped up by this one piece. This piece is fucking insane. This has got to be the best conceivable Ito piece imaginable, besides the fact that it's like an offset piece. Is like the fact that the fourth like roll there is 21 flat defense is like it's just icing on the cake. But this is over 50% crit value with energy recharge which he needs and a little bit of defense which he needs. Pretty perfect. Altogether though it does add up. So it's but I do think like there's room to grow to like a 90. I think you could get this built to like 90 220. If I ever got a better Ito like goblet, if I got a better Husk Geo goblet, we'd already be set. But I also have, again, I have room to grow on that feather, I think too. That feather could easily get to like 210, 215, a little bit more work on it. How much damage does my Ito do? I don't know. What should I try it on? Like a full, like the whole, should I just do the whole shebang? Like, where do I? Let me do it on, what's a good enemy to test it on? Like Masanori? Yeah, Fishmore is okay on him. Isn't it based on the amount of energy it costs or something? It's just a decent weapon though. Let's see. Elemental burst damage by 24. Okay, that's just flat. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, no, that's actually pretty good. So this is, I thought I was confusing it with the Akuamaru, which is this is based on the team burst energy. But the pitch on Changyun is pretty good. It's just 24% burst damage. Yeah, that's good. You know, its attack's not the best. I think sacrificial is probably best for Chung Yoon, generally speaking, because like the way I usually use him is for infusion, and this just improves his infusion time. So I prefer sacrificial, but you know. Okay, we're gonna try out. Cool, we got some spam. Obviously, don't click that. Okay. Alright, we'll just try. Try out this Ito team.
What's one more?
Gather! Like this!
Witness my great undertaking.
I'm trying to get his burst up.
Gather! Pull in! Press the advantage! Attaboy! Who wants some of this?
Okay. What am I doing? 34? 68.
This will do.
Oh, pretty good. Like, that's with 91% crit rate. I mean, obviously we could like get a higher number, right? If I throw in like a crit damage, right? Like if I put that on, what's my ratio? This is kind of like your average probably. If I were doing, let me see. I think your average like Ito build is not. I do believe in the mathematical like. It's just true that like a 1 to 2 ratio is higher, but that's not what most people do. When you see like an Ito Ushi or whatever, it's obviously almost always like something like this, which is. This is worse, right? This is going to give me a higher number, but it is worse damage. It's worse DPS. But I'll see what it is with this. This is going to be like closer to what you'll see people run on Ito. How do I get good Huskar effects? My Huskar effects are like decent. They're not like amazing. But I did it by like farming Kokomi, basically.
Rally! Coming to be. It's showtime!
Okay, so what does this get me? 38. Yeah. And he blocks my Ushi, of course. 62.
Pull in! Solidify! Burst forth! Everyone on me! Attaboy! Who wants some of this?
39. Yeah, like 39. So it's like I can get up to like 39 instead, but it's just the DPS is worse. So they're on that. Do I give Yunjin triple defense? Yeah, or energy recharge. Yeah, the damage difference is well. I guess I should also mention that the difference being from like 204 to 250, so it's like another 50%. But actually I'm already running. This is going to dilute the crit damage also because I'm getting 40% extra. So actually it's going from 244 to 290 something maybe. So it actually dilutes crit damage because I already am getting crit damage from Goro. How do you make her have more crit damage? There's I think probably a 3-star weapon that does, but actually, kind of an overlooked alternative would be running a crit buffing support. And you know, Rosaria is not the worst option. It's not like the worst, but if you ran, if you have Amos, that does make it harder for sure. Running like a crit weapon, but again, like I think people kind of overlook that like attack is not bad. It's like they all add together, right? So there's Tao. which is kind of awkward to run with Yoimiya because they both want the field time. 12% crit increase for your team. This would be a little awkward unless you're running like a burst DPS. Okay, but here's the thing: you could run a team of Yoimiya, Rosaria, Hu Tao, with Hu Tao built as burst DPS. So you could even run like 2-piece Crimson Witch, 2-piece Noblesse. Fuck it, dude. You can 4-piece Noblesse, support Hu Tao, whatever, man. You could do it. Yeah, so you'd burst. We can, let's just try it out quick. Let's just fucking try it. Who cares? Rosaria,
Sooner we're done,
Hu Tao. So stupid.
Good eye.
Bennett.
Gonna
I
be
guess Bennett.
epic.
I guess we run Bennett here. I gotta get her HP out. So again, you're running. You're in Hu Tao in this team. You gotta be quick with her because you don't want her to heal on Bennett's burst. Oh, I also need her burst. Let me get her burst real quick. Let's something to kill real quick. Let's see if we can like manufacture a rotation that makes some amount of sense. So what we're gonna want to do is melt on Hu Tao. So we're gonna want to do Bennett, then Rosaria, and then Hu Tao burst.
You can't run.
Which would only give us actually like 6 seconds of uptime tops. On Hu Tao probably, or on Rosaria's crit rate buff. This is if you really want to run both. I would just probably pick one. So they both give you how much time? I forget. Like they both give you like 10 seconds, I think. So this would allow me to run. Oh, it's actually a good reminder. I had the wrong Pyro Goblin on. So I'm at 87. So I actually would overcap on crit. So I'd run a crit damage. What does that put me at, like 60, 63? So with Rosaria and Hu Tao, for at least like 6 seconds, I would end up with close to 90% crit with 242. Diana ends with cryo damage, which actually makes her pretty busted with Shenhe. It was dumb before, but it's actually good now. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to do like Bennett, boom, Rosaria, boom, melt, and then immediately swap over. No, he's not in my fucking thing, but look at all those crits. You can see when you can see when like Rosaria's buff wore off. Also, my Bennett is it healed Hu Tao so fast. If you were gonna do something like this with Bennett, don't do what I'm doing because it was already like don't run healing bonus and don't run him with HP. Run him Pyro. It'll buy you some time on bursting with Hu Tao. Like 1 tick of healing with my Bennett will like heal her up to halfway, right? So if you were to try this this team, run Bennett with like ER Pyro crit or whatever, or even not HP, but yeah, run Bennett as like a sub DPS build basically, but like ER Pyro crit instead of HP healing. Yeah, I mean the attack circle doesn't help him, but yeah, I mean it's fine. But again, the goal for it would be to not heal Hu Tao so fast. That'll make Yoimiya more susceptible to damage, but like he heals enough anyway without it, I think. So That's one way you can do it with Yoimiya. Is this practical? I'm gonna say it's honestly better than you'd think. I got a couple of commissions left, but oh, ouch. You could just pick one. You could pick one of them. The other option is like C4 Mona, but that's only like 5 seconds. Oh, this is actually a good example. Like someone's like asking like about like attack and crit and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to like overlook the importance of attack. Let me just like show just like a really quick like little test. Let me put in beta again. Beta.
All right, let's go.
I like Fishbowl a lot too, but Beto is like one of my faves, so I'm trying to find a spot for her. Running her solo Electro is hard, but it is, you know,
Let's get this show on the
worthwhile in
road.
my opinion.
Company, fall in.
Just to like show real quick, is Melt Ganyu good? Yeah, that's Ganyu's probably her. That's probably Ganyu's top damage team. Well, I'd say probably a little harder to use than Freeze Ganyu, but not bad.
Let me try my blade.
Okay, I'm just gonna show. Okay.
Cheap tricks.
So I'm just gonna do
Time for a light show.
a charge attack. 25. Oh, it's vaporized because of the rain. Shit. Okay, but 25k. Right? 25k while shielded.
Will suffice.
I have to kill these fucking things. Yeah, this game is like cursed. You just try to like just test something, and it's like nearly impossible to find like anything reasonable to hit with like any kind of reliability. All right, let me find some Hilichurls here. Let me find some Hilichurls. Again, I won't even use whatever buffs. Okay, this is just. I do want to activate the Shimenawa because I need that bonus for like a little bit of accuracy here. Okay.
Fuse is lit.
This is with a shield then, with Geo Resonance. Oh, I missed. Or was that 15? Okay, 15. Now this piece has more crit damage by 10%.
Advance.
Oh, I gotta get my shield back just because
Unleash.
consistency.
Time for a light show.
14. You see how I'm doing over 1,000 less damage? I'm doing over 1,000 less damage even though my crit went from 87,200 up from 87,192. Losing 10 crit damage? Right? Because like again, people undervalue like the importance of attack. You see how this piece has 15% attack and this piece has HP defense? Like, you know? Again, it's crit is obviously very important for sure. But like don't ignore your attack stats. So getting like getting high crit damage or whatever is valuable. Like, but just don't ignore attack as like, you know what I mean? It's just a tip. It's important to like test out. Like I wouldn't have been able to guess off the bat like whether or not that would be better or worse. It ends up being like pretty similar if I run like Bennett, because Bennett again like diminishes the value of her own attack. But it's important to like test out your teams because like some of that stuff seems like it doesn't seem obvious to be like, oh, well, that one has more crit, I'll pop that one on. But the fact that it does a pretty good amount less damage is, you know what I mean? It's just important to like just try it out. If you're not sure, like you can pop it into a calculator, or you can just literally just try it. I mean, I find this faster than like popping it into a damage calculator. Just find a hill troll and try it out. It's just I do that constantly. I'm constantly either just like trying it out on hill trolls or like trying rotations out on a boss, shit like that. Just test out your stuff. My tip. Two more commissions. Then we got some Yunjin stuff. Did not forget. I did not forget that you want to try out Yunjin.
Power the fire hazard.
Oh, I don't think Beto triggers on this thing. That's kind of annoying. And the other thing to keep in mind that attack will increase the damage on your non-crit hits, which is not insignificant, right? Crit damage only works on your crit hits too, right? So you might see, and you might hyper-focus on the amount of damage your crit does, while ignoring the damage your non-crit hits do, right? But if you do 20% more damage on your crit hits, but then, right, you're doing 20% less damage on your non-crit hits, it's just like, you gotta kind of factor it all together, right? Can I rate your Ganyu build? Oh, if Alize is still in here, maybe. Someone can rate your Ganyu build better than me. I don't know anything about Ganyu. I can tell you my thoughts on it, but I don't want to pretend like I know Ganyu from anyone else. I'm not a Ganyu expert. I don't have Ganyu, and I've literally never used Ganyu except for the like quest. And my plans for Ganyu is mostly as a support, so like, I might be the worst possible Ganyu judge imaginable. Really, Gene? Really, Gene can't hit this?
Go as one.
Bro, what? Why is this not working? What is going on here? Okay, so what is happening? Why is this not working? And why are there two more? Okay. Alright, Jesus. Nope, Animo does work. How to get good artifacts. Well, the obvious answer is you can't. There isn't a good way to get good artifacts because it's RNG, but that's actually not true. There's actually a way to get good artifacts, and that is to maximize your resin efficiency when you farm. And so there actually is a good answer to that. That is to like look at who you're farming, but almost always the answer is you should just farm this domain, and then trade your trash artifacts in for either noblesse pieces, gladiator pieces, potentially wanderers. I guess in the case of like Ganyu, that works too. There's almost, if you use that strategy, there's almost no character you can't gear this way. There's very few. I mean, there's like the Geo guys. Even then, only really Ito, right? Because actually, like, Goro can run two-piece emblem really well. In fact, my Goro does use two-piece emblem. Yunjin can run actually four-piece noblesse just as well as Husk almost, if you trade in. So again, if you're running two-piece Shimanao, and also almost every character who runs a, like, let's say two-piece Thunder Fury, two-piece Glad, almost all of them is like single-digit difference from just running two-piece Shimenawa, two-piece Gladiator. So this is the answer to good artifacts, right? It's farm this domain, trade in the trash ones for the best option from the other, the like trade-in thing. Either again, no blast. If you even honestly could be trading them in for Bloodstained Chivalry for a two-piece Pale Flame two-piece Bloodstained Eula build even. So it's like there's almost no character you can't gear this way. So that is the best way to do it. Because again, right, if you're saying like how do you get good artifacts, is by maximizing your resin efficiency, you're gonna maximize your chance at getting good artifacts, right? If you farmed Viridescent Venerer for a two-piece set for Shao, like you have just wasted half of your resin. Do you know what I'm saying? You could have been getting good Shimenawa pieces instead. Um, so right by running a domain where half of the artifacts are useless to you, you are getting half of the chances at good artifacts. Right? So by running a domain where you can make all of the pieces work and then trade those bad pieces in, you're essentially doubling your chances to get good artifacts. Right? So that is why like most of my characters have decent gear, basically. No, I mean, Asif, like, this is actually this is how you can build them, right? Like, let's look at like we can go point by point, right? Eula, if you trade in those bad pieces for Bloodstain, you can gear half of her with that. You actually could run her with two-piece Bloodstain, two-piece Shimenawa just fine, and not even set foot in Pale Flame. That's one option. Amber, best set, four-piece Noblesse. You can trade in for it. Shenhe can run two-piece Shimenawa, two-piece Glad, or you can trade in for Noblesse. That all works. Diona, you can trade in for four-piece Noblesse. Animo's like, okay, this one you definitely do. You want to run the Viridescent. You'll notice, look, my Jean is running two-piece Gladiator, two-piece Shimenawa. Right? Like, I am using this strategy on my main character. This is my main, and I'm using it on Jean. Emblem, right? Raiden, right? Kokomi... You probably want to run her in Tenacity support, okay? Yoimiya, right? Shimenawa. Hu Tao. Her best set now actually is Shimenawa, usually. It's got some like stipulations, but I think the highest peak DPS is 4-piece Shimenawa. Sarah runs Emblem. Albedo, you want to run the Geo set. Xinyan, I run her 4-piece Noblesse, but you can run Bloodstain, you can also trade it in. You're going to want to run Husk for this. Ayaka, definitely want to run Blizzard Strayer. Let's see. Emblem for Mona. Again, you can trade in for Noblesse for Yunjin, and 2-piece Emblem also works. 4-piece Emblem. He can run Noblesse, but, you know, Tenacity. She can run 4-piece Emblem. Rosario can run 4-piece Emblem. She can also run Noblesse. 4-piece Emblem is actually best in slot for Lisa. A lot of people don't know that because her skill does a lot of damage, but actually, you want to run her Burst. Her best team right now is actually, if you don't have C6 Sarah. If you don't have C6 Sarah, you want to run actually Lisa with Thrilling Tales and reuse her as our Burst. Emblem will be best in slot for that. Let's see, 2-piece Emblem or 4-piece Noblesse, that works for like Shield Bot. You can actually run 4-piece Shimenawa main DPS Yanfei also. Trade in for Noblesse for Bennett. I don't know shit about main character. It's sketch, but you can actually run 4-piece Shimenawa, but you can run 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Shimenawa. I'm currently running 4-piece Gladiator because I'm running her normal attack Kaching with Yunjin for fun. But 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Shimenawa works on her. Child can run 4-piece Shimenawa. Again, I'm running 2-piece Emblem on him. Noel, I don't know shit about, but run Husk probably. Again, you could run 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Shimenawa, 4-piece Emblem, 4-piece Emblem. See, obviously, Viridescent. Like, you'll see, like, almost every character in the game If you run that strategy, you can run almost every character out of that one domain. There's some characters where you're going to run Viridescent Venerer, and some characters where you're going to run Blizzard Strayer, and a couple times where you want to run like Tenacity. But like, pretty rare depending on the characters. 80% of characters are at like 90% damage functionality or more if you run that one domain and trade it. It is like without question the best way to gear your account. Just straight up. There's like almost nothing else you should be doing besides that. Okay, we can hop into co-op. We can try Yunjin. Who wanted to try out Yunjin? Moon, hop on in. And Drifty, I know you were looking to join in too. We'll do some Yunjin gaming.
Flag slide.
If you don't, if there's a chance, if you're like a new player and you aren't, I thought you. Do you know what I'm saying about trading in, Asif? Do you know about this strongbox thing here?
Nice and spiky.
Oh, that's fine. Hop on in. Right? If you, just in case, because you're new, if you didn't know, come to the table, scroll over 3, and you can trade in. Gladiators or Noblesse are the best, too. Yeah, okay. But again, Wanderers can be situationally good. Oh shit, okay. Sorry, I gotta kick you out, Lemon. I don't know if you're still in chat. It says a friend is in co-op, but actually it's me. 'Tis I'm the one in co-op. But yeah, dude. That is where I dump all my resin. I have so many characters using Shimenawa or Emblem, some combination, or they're using Noblesse that I traded in. I'll pop it up in a second. Unless you have it handy, Moon. Can you pop in your UID? I don't know what the resolution looks like on the stream. But it's there if you can see it. Alright. I think Lemon probably joining in. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. I'll pop it back on stream. It's sad you still don't have official. And she's so good with you, Mia.
Flag slide.
It's in the chat. Do you see it? It's hang on. Like, I don't know if it's not showing for you for some reason. I'll type it in.
Yes, I shall spare myself the hair and make.
Make sure if you put the chat,
and happily
put the chat in live chat. If you put it in like top chat, it filters out some. I think it probably filters out numbers, thinking it's like spam or something. I don't know. I had the same problem, so I gotta make sure I pop it in live chat. I don't understand what the point of top chat is, other than to make it like situationally like annoying to do. I don't understand it.
Yay!
And step. Break
That like
away.
knockback pretty solid, huh? Look at her go!
Flag fly. Observe.
Flinging them around, homie.
How's this?
Flag fly.
That is very satisfying.
I'm ready.
And leap.
Juggling, dude.
Flag fly.
I do understand. I understand Yunjin main building her as a main DPS for sure. It's very satisfying to use, I think. The parry's fun,
Flag fly. And step.
and her animations are so slick.
Finale.
Ow!
Time for a light show.
Also, she's kind of durable if you build her like. Ow.
Flags out. Didn't count step.
Cheap
Flags out. Break a leg.
There we go. Should we try like try a boss out? Let me heal up. Her buff is going to be a little bit lower than doing like some abyss floors and stuff like that. You know, you do get a sizable buff for defense with deathmatch, but it only works when she's in like an AOE situation. We could try Basanori first, I suppose. That's tough. Kazuha honestly works in almost every possible way. Usually if I run Kazuha DPS, I'll run him Animo DPS with like 4-piece Shimenawa actually for that extra plunge damage and shit. And I'll run him with Jean to help battery make up that lost energy. I think Viridescent Venerer actually is probably his best DPS option even. If you run him with like C6 Bennett or as Cryo with Chong Yun, I would actually run him in a DPS Viridescent Venerer because it's such a busted set, and he would already be on the team as your Animo. Unless you're running another Animo with him. I would run him as, I would consider running him in 4-piece Viridescent in a crit build and changing the Elemental Goblet based on if you're going Pyro with C6 Bennett or Cryo with Chong Yun. Barring that, if you're doing like Animo damage, I'd say it probably gets better at C1 because the extra plunge and stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm guessing you'd probably run him physical or some sort of hybrid. Essentially, it's kind of tough because he does so much different kinds of damage, right? I gotta get my burst up too, by the way.
Could be as leisurely as this a little more often.
We got, oh shit, there's two of them. There's two acid noise. I'm gonna wait till your Yoi Mia skill cooldown's back. I'm assuming it's probably back now-ish. Alright, I'm gonna pop first. It's like 13. No one needs to know. I didn't see what you were doing with Yoi before, but what is that now? 15 to peak. It does help her fire or her physical damage too. Yo, that little bonus Masanori is kind of a trip, huh?
The festival ends.
Obviously, he's not dead too. Everybody's dead. All my friends are dead. And I also like it wasn't keeping up my 4-piece husk. Which you can do with Yunjin. Between using her burst and if you're tapping especially her skill, you can get her 4-piece husk set up. Which is
one strike will suffice.
Flags up. Observe.
but man, her parry is really durable.
And leap.
Oh no, someone died. But yeah, what build are you using? I forget who's using physical Kazuha. Wait, can we see? Oh, it's not in there. What's your is your who's using physical? I don't know who's using what kind of Kazuha. I don't think either one of you is using EM Kazuha though, right? Okay, let's see DPS Kazuha showdown here.
There are leaves on it.
Okay, let's look at the Yoimiya. Okay, let's look. I fixed the second to refresh though. Hang on. Okay, 47, 156. I do think actually it might be worth running Rosaria for you, frankly. That's a ton of energy recharge.
Methinks I perchance have overindulged.
Why do you have so much energy recharge?
Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever.
You can swap
The
this
scenery is
to an
wonderful.
attack.
Surely enough to
Sans,
convince anyone to
probably.
become a wanderer.
I would say. I would swap to an attack stance, not energy recharge. The substats, I promise you, even if you have an attack stance with no crit whatsoever, it'll be better than energy recharge. Right? Remember I showed you like on my Yoimiya, on even just that 10 crit damage versus the 15% attack, that the attack was more damage than the crit damage. And here is actually a bigger loss with the energy recharge. It's 46% attack loss. That's really big. And since Yoimiya's burst is not very strong,
To do? Why don't I tell you
I would
a story?
Wherever in
say
this world I roam,
I would
I
definitely
carry
go
memories of my
attack.
home.
Again, even if it's not a good attack
It is
stance,
the last
I would
link I
use
have.
an attack stance on Yoimiya for sure. Should we see if Kazua's in?
Yes, I shall spare myself the hair and makeup routine today and
Not in
happily
there yet.
idle my time away.
Yeah, it's actually really intense. And it's better than my
There are
Raiden's
leaves
fucking sands, dude.
And I know
My
just
Raiden's
the tune
sands
to
is
accompany them.
not
Foolish to
that
hear.
good either. It's actually, that's a good sands. It's just not good on Yoimiya. It's good on other characters, but yeah,
Cute.
I mean, it's just, yeah, I would do better. With an attack stance, I would put on Yoimiya. I think it's physical though, right? If you're doing physical damage, and also that Black Sword has
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my
has
home.
good bonus on the attack,
This blade.
normal attacks.
It is the last link
Alright,
I
look,
have
can we
to the
see-
land of my birth.
Let me see your.
There
Okay,
are
61,
leaves
68.
Just the
Very low
tune to
EM.
If you wish to hear.
Black Sword. 2-piece VV, and you are running attack sands. Animo. Crit. Okay. So this is the Animo DPS build. And this is Wanderer's Troop.
Oof.
Interesting.
My waistband has been feeling a little snug these last couple of days. Methinks I perchance have overindulged.
Alright. Great damage. That's a decent piece. Also Animo.
1,
Okay.
2,
That's solid.
breathe. 3,
And attack.
and
67, 185.
Surely
And more
enough to
EM.
convince anyone to become a wanderer.
And Black Sword. Okay. think it's a compliment. Let's see. Okay, DPS Kazuha showdown. Let's see. I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay, I want to see DPS Kazuha showdown. I want to look at normal attacks, and I want to look at plunge damage. Let's go.
Let me try. I'm ready.
Got it. I can't tell who's this moves now. Okay. This is.
This will do.
14? 12? So I'm like looking at the numbers. I'm seeing 12 and 14 for plunge.
This will end you.
What's up? Observe.
Alright, that's 12 for the burst. They're pretty close. That's like one person, like one's is doing like 15% more damage or something.
I'm ready.
They're pretty similar.
One with nature. Sha!
Flags fly. And leap.
Pretty close. Yeah, they're pretty similar. I think I run, I think my best is like
This blade.
almost 100k
It is the
plunge
last
with
link I have.
Kazuha. Using 4-piece Shimenawa. and Freedom Sword on Jean.
Yeah! Flags fly! And leap!
Into the wind.
Do you want to see the difference that Jean makes and why I run Kazuha? I have Kazuha right now fully in build, but I usually run him as hybrid. I can show you the difference if you want to let me get my burst up. I can do the shred for Jean.
And I know just the tune to accompany them.
Can you start right back up,
If you
and
wish
then
to hear
I'll buff with Jean. So if you combine Jean with Bennett. So actually C2 Venti is the same as C6 Animo MC.
Delve into death!
One with nature.
What? Didn't? Okay.
Into the
Okay, was that 14? Okay. Let's see some plunges.
one with nature.
Can't see.
Clouds high, the birds call. The wind knows it.
Barbados!
Okay.
Guide us!
So many numbers.
One with nature.
18? Okay.
Adorn my night.
Someone's went up to 18. Decent jump.
Time to go. The wind.
I swear by my sword!
One with nature.
And that one up to 15 something.
Into the wind.
Barbados! Guide us!
Yeah. Pretty good job. It's like about a 25% damage increase, which usually makes sense because it's usually 10% animo resistance on the enemy, right? And then
Wherever in this world I roam.
if it's 10% resistance on the enemy, then it's 30% below zero, which cut in half to negative 15% resistance. So that's 25% net. So if someone mentioned C2, you see that this is
It's time to move on.
Animo shred of 12%. It's actually less than, so his C6 is 20, his C2 is 12%. But don't forget that Animo MC, who I don't have currently active, also has Animo shred. Also Zhongli.
Go as one!
Your Mona burst.
What's
Like just plain without vaporizing it.
I'm ready.
Decided by destiny!
I didn't see what it burst for.
Barbados! Guide us! Shadows of wind strike!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
I swear Fate is upon me!
3,000.
Barbados! Guide us!
Hey, 65k Gene, what's up?
One with wind and
Better than mine. My Hutao is okay. 69, 213. This I want to get this up a little bit higher. 75. 580 would be ideal. Her EM's kind of low, but if I run her with Kazuha, it's 300.
Onwards. We
It's
have
actually
work to
good, I think.
There are leaves.
Alright, I
around,
have 777s.
and I know just the
I don't
tune
really
to
use it that
accompany
often,
them,
though.
if you wish to hear it.
Take out your mana, sure. Oops. Alright, let's look at the Mona. Level 70, so you got room to grow. 46,
Divination.
153.
Precisely
We shouldn't-
Energy recharge could be higher. Mona's energy gain is pretty bad. Her skill doesn't hit that often, frankly. And she does scale pretty well with energy. So you lose it less from building a little bit more. I'd probably go like 160 if you can. Decent EM though, if you can vaporize her burst. Widsith, okay. Good on her. No blast, not bad. If you vaporize her burst, you can run EM.
I do hope the Knights of
Yeah,
Favonius
okay.
are all working hard. It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
HP goblet. Why do you have an HP goblet? Do you not have a hydro goblet? You're definitely going to want to run a hydro goblet on her. Crit rate. That makes sense to put a crit rate on.
Such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can
Okay.
only but be accepted.
Alright, yeah, you definitely want to. Because what is my
Scenery
Mona? My
is
Mona
wonderful.
runs... This
Surely
is not my
enough to
peak
convince
Mona
anyone to
build. What does
become a
my
wanderer.
do? Oh, I see. So my Mona's at 67, 164, although I think this applies to her, so that puts it at closer to 80 crit, 164. And then you save a lot of energy recharge, so I can use her as a support. Let's look again.
There are leaves around, and I know
The wind knows.
Okay. Hasn't updated yet. Yeah.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Do you want me to vaporize your Mona Burst? To see what it looks like? Let's look at that. So for this, you'd have to let me apply Pyro. No one attack the thing, so that we don't pop the bubble. So I'll use Bennett's skill and then burst, and then pop Mona's burst, and then everyone just chill out for 2 seconds, and then I'll pop it. Okay. No. Okay, we already messed it up. Already messed up.
Decided by destiny.
Okay, we're gonna have to not attack it. Hang on, I'm gonna pop in.
Let's light it up.
So let's reset it.
Why do they never miss?
Do people know how Mona's bubble works for vaporizing it?
Benny's adventure team, assemble! Assemble!
So we need to apply Pyro, then Mona, and then apply Pyro again. But we gotta wait 2 seconds without attacking.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go!
Bennett's burst doesn't stack. No, it doesn't.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
I don't know how it plays it out. Like I don't know if it's like whoever lays it first or last, or if it's the highest attack. But it definitely doesn't stack. Who was I looking at again? Forget who was that? Whose character? Which character I was looking at?
Let's go find some treasure.
Was that you, Diana? Okay.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
Alright, 45, 168. Not a lot of energy recharge. Good amount of EM. Okay, Amos. Doing a Ganyu build, basically. I didn't even notice. Okay, Wanderers. That makes sense. Crit damage makes sense. You could run, yeah, if you're using it in the overworld, you could run like 0 crit rate and just get headshots. Oh, okay, I see. So for Melt Ganyu, you're right, you don't need energy recharge at all. So if it's Melt Ganyu, 4-piece Wanderers.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Attack Sands. I actually don't know. Does attack sands or EM sands do more damage?
Wow.
I know EM sands does, and you're running 4-piece Shimanawa from Melt. But I guess if you were running this seems like a kind of a decent all-around build, whether you're melting or not, right? Blizzard for freeze. Otherwise, this seems like kind of a good all-around build to me. Ganyu scales with crit damage, so you'll have a lot of crit damage. Your crit rate's a little low, but if you're running, if you're not running Melt.
No one's joined me on an adventure.
And you're running just cryo, you'll get
Come
cryo,
on,
so it goes to the 60%, which is fine, I think. If you were running freeze team, you'd probably just want Blizzard anyway. But this seems good to me. I think she also gets crit on her bloom, doesn't she? I can't remember if that's consolation or a passive of hers.
Wow.
But it's
Where did that come from?
it's pretty good to me. You'll be like pushing 200 crit damage. Pretty
Adventure
good.
time. Off we go.
Hu Tao build here.
Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say anyway.
Alright,
Knowing my luck.
63 to 11.
Billy churl, silly Billy Hilly churl.
Deathmatch, okay. Okay, four-piece Crimson is
Assemble!
better, but it seems like a decent place to start. 666, okay. This seems fine to me. I think the EM is a little bit low. I actually think if you can get more elemental mastery
Manthus wine tastes the same
as you're farming. Elemental mastery is less important if you have 4-piece Crimson Witch,
Join me on an adventure in...
but a little bit of more EM in your subs if you can get them would be nice, probably. You currently have basically none.
Out of the way!
16. I mean, I would look for EM if you can get it.
Ow!
Right, even if you got like another crit damage that had like EM on it but no crit, you'd be like pretty solid.
Transferring commodities back and
I think EM would be the easiest gain for you, right? Like, getting more elemental mastery is gonna be easier than getting more crit damage, probably. Okay, you got a jet. Okay. Fun hanging, Moon. Then, we can join, I guess... If everyone else is high enough, you can join my game.
Flags up! One step!
If there's anyone who wants to try out Yunjin, especially, hop on in. We can run a couple bosses quick, try it out. I guess we could also try Shenhe. There's a day left to roll on your Shenhe. I think Shenhe might be, based on the fact that, like, Shenhe is not reflected in the Abyss usage rates at the moment. I believe that is because, there's so few people with Shenhe that it didn't actually work. There's not enough for a sample. And so I think Shenhe might be among the least selling banners out there. I think that might be true. It also is split with Xiao at the moment, but like, man, that is rough about Shenhe. So I think a lot of people will skip Shenhe. That's my guess. You can try your fucking travel. My Traveler sucks. I don't have a good Traveler build. The only time I use Traveler is full EM Traveler with Yoimiya for overload damage. It's the only time I've built
Time to go.
Traveler. Is a crit damage circlet with 114 EM better for Kazuha than getting an EM circlet? It can be. There's the thing about like Kazuha, it is heavily dependent on his investment and your team investment and how well you are able to swirl the right element, right? So, like in my case, I run him with Jean a lot, and so I build him for damage a lot. But if you, let's say you're running a team and you aren't consistently swirling the right element. Let's say you're running, I'm trying to think of a team where you'd have to be thinking through, like, in a team like, let's say you're using international team, Child, Shangling,
Yes.
Kazuha.
I shall spare myself.
If you're consistently double swirling and getting Hydro and getting Pyro bonus, then just building him with more EM is usually better. And then you factor in that if it's single target versus AoE, the more it's AoE, the more his EM is superior because of the swirl damage. And just to add in even more, if you're using Electro Charge swirls, it's already going to be better, probably better built, like full EM Kazuha, because Electro Charge has like 50% more swirl damage, right? You're also triggering Electro Charge, but you're also swirling an extra element because of the double aura swirl, right? So it depends. It depends. If you're running like a mono like Pyro team and it's just Pyro damage and Kazuha's buffed by Bennett, then I think like a hybrid build can be pretty good actually. But like, it depends. It depends. Yeah, it depends. But I think the kind of cool thing about Kazuha, like hybrid build or whatever, they're all pretty close together. But generally speaking, full EM build it ends up being consistently good because of the team damage bonus, right? Like buffing your team so much that it, like losing his damage is okay. But it's up to you how you want to roll. How what? Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at this chat. Albedo got more sales than Kazuha. Oh yeah, Kazuha Kazuha was not very popular. The consensus at the time was there's actually a few things, right? One is that Venti at the time was busted. Remember Kazuha came out before Inazuma? So this was before all of these enemies that resist Venti were in the game. So people were looking at Sucrose as already second to Venti. And so as a Sucrose adjustment, he's like a minor upgrade or whatever, right? And then Venti, so a couple things that happened, right? Venti became less good because of heavy enemies. Then they also buffed Swirl a lot. And I think people forget this. Like, a lot of the reception of Kazuha was based on Swirl's initial damage being, like, pretty meh. But, right, like, with the added combination of the Swirl buff, resistant enemies to Venti, and then the addition of Raiden to the game, I think people underestimate that in his usage rates. He's so good with Raiden because Raiden is going to require that elemental buff as opposed to an EM buff. And Kazuha's usage rates just because of Raiden already skyrockets too, right? So there's a lot of reasons why Kazuha was undervalued in his release and he sold pretty poorly. Okay. Alright, what do we want to try? Let's try something on Senora's to mix it up. Nasanori's kind of annoying. Who do you want to try? You want to try Electro? Who did you want to? You want to try like Yunjin and just normal attack buff or what? Is your Electro Traveler physical built or what? What's your Electro Traveler build? Okay, good stats. Black Sword. Electro. Okay, you went full Electro. Okay. Okay, we'll wait for Drip to get back.
To manifest eternity per the almighty Shogun's will. That is what I aspire to.
I think Electro Traveler has some uses. If you don't have Raiden, anyway. I think Electro Traveler is pretty good with Noelle. But I guess Geo Traveler is also good with Noelle, so it's like whatever, right? It's like, you're using your battery anyway, so it's like, what is the difference?
This is no place to loaf around.
I can use Bennett. Since you're Electro Traveler, it doesn't matter that you're going to get Pyro Infusion, right? Because it's Electro damage and they don't infuse. All you're going to get out of this, then, is
no place to loaf around.
more damage, and you're going to be overloading your own hits. I guess your autos she'll be resistant to autos, but the attack buff should probably make up for it. Versus Fizz.
The duty of a Tengu warrior is to
we
watch
could run a
over
Fizz
the mountains
comp,
and
but
forests, while that of the Kujo clan is to guard
7k for
Inazuma.
normal attack? I
These
don't
two
know.
are of
I don't
the
actually
same
know what's
ilk.
normal for
This is no place to loaf around.
traveling. This damage, to be honest. Seems okay. Waiting for Drift.
This is no place to loaf around.
We can run. I actually don't know this. Does Electro Traveler snapshot? I want to say no, right? burst? I don't think so. Now let's just
Strike
we'll run it
your
up.
foe takes unity
We
between
can
mind, arrow, and bow.
we'll run another one when Drift is back. I'll run Kazuha to buff you. We'll hyper buff your
Oh, ow! What did
buff
that
your
come
Electro
from?
Traveler. Yeah, does anybody know? Actually, I don't know.
You're
I'm gonna wait for you to apply Electro.
Is it the cold or just cowardice?
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Everybody stand back!
Alright, what are you doing here?
Into the frozen void!
28 skill. 8k. 34.
One with
Seems
nature.
decent. 8k for the Electro Traveler. 34 is probably without. Is that C6 era? Probably the difference from the crit damage.
Time to go.
I'm going in!
Clouds high. The birds call.
Yeah, let's light it up! Adventure time!
Okay, I'm gonna wait for Electro application. Like you can not get stumbled. Okay.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Take
The
this!
wind knows me. Fallen leaves. Adorn my
I didn't
night.
see what the overload damage you're doing is.
Yeah!
5k? Something like that?
Bellowing thunder! Everybody stand back! Lord,
Not every wound will heal. Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
I never for redemption.
Never.
Seems pretty decent to me. I'd be curious how it rolls in Abyss. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen anyone running main DPS Electro Traveler. I've seen main DPS Geo Travelers before. Not recently. I don't know if they can keep up.
Wow! Where did that come from?
Okay, I think we want to
This is no
run
place to loaf
Jean
around.
then, probably. And I guess same Jean and Bennett.
The duty of attaining. I wonder what.
This is no place to loaf around.
I'd say Sarah is as good as anything. I think Sarah or Ramona really pretty much your only options for buffing more. Or Zhongli for more Animo Shred, but she's already going to be negative a lot, so I think Drifty.
It's time to move on.
His game
We
must
shouldn't stay here.
hard crashed.
You're trembling.
So I guess I'll
Is
wait
it the
till I see your
cold
burst
or
up before I
just
pop
cowardice?
Jean's burst. Alright, that's not like 8k.
Wind, hear
Yeah,
me.
pop it. Let's see your skill.
Into the frozen void.
Like 2k.
Let's light it up. Go and fly. Windblade. Go and fly. Everybody stand back. Let's. I swear
The
the
shred
race
is
of
pretty
benevolence
fast.
has no place for transgressors. I'm going in.
a little delayed on that.
Windblade! Teamwork is strict! Yummy! Storm the front!
Is that 2? Is that 26? What was that? 26? 8K? Not bad.
Dance, my pretties! Not every wound will heal! I'm going in! Going flat! I swear by my sword! Gone!
24? Oh, 10K, I saw 10K on that. Okay.
Never.
Kind of feel like the consistency of Electra was maybe pulling ahead. On single target, anyway.
Windblade!
Plus Sarah was probably helping too. How do you buff Geo Traveler? Bennett and what? Zhongli? Goro? I don't know which would be better. Ningguang?
This is no place
I don't
to
even
loaf
know.
around.
What's the best buff? You got Mona for burst. Goro would give 20 to 40 Geo crit damage. Ningguang is giving 15% Geo bonus from walking through. Kind of feels like Mona. You can do like Mona. Yeah, are you still too low? AR, I might have to join your game. Let's try Geo Traveler first, though, here. It's, Papa Mona. Oh, that is a lot of attack. No idea. Maybe you lost a set bonus, too. Okay, so Mona and Bennett? Geo Traveler does scale on attack, right?
Mind, arrow, and bow.
I think mine's on Geo. Yeah, it's not defense or anything, it's just attack.
Penny's adventure team, assemble!
Yeah, I guess, or Ningguang, if you have Ningguang canvas. For the, I don't think it matters, but if we're just trying to build, if we're just trying to buff them, then Ningguang would be good. Just because, 15% Geo bonus on the wall.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
That's fine, I'll just roll it. So you gotta get your shield. Make sure you get a shield.
You're trembling. Is it the cold?
I'm
or
gonna
just
use
cowardice?
let's see, Bennett's ult.
Time to clean up. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Is your
Let me scribe. Fate is upon you. Someone needs
top
assistance.
54? Who's that? Noelle? Damn. Poor fucking Noelle, bro. Popping off, Noelle.
Delved into destiny. Let me scribe.
$39. Okay, that's pretty solid, I think. Alright, Lemon, let me pop Bennett and then Mona and then burst. Okay, here we go. Okay, boom.
Decided by
There's Mona.
I missed the spot. I must leave no
20 per tick. So that like one of the 3 ticks. That seems pretty solid. It's like a 60k burst or something.
Everybody stand up. Good night, cheer.
Not every wound will heal.
Let me scribe. Starfall. Fate is upon you.
The most annoying boss of all time.
Let's light it up. I must leave no stone unturned.
I never asked for redemption.
30k seems good. Alright, let's Lemon and Canvas, are you down to help Dream World thing in the chat? You want to pop your UID in? Or did you? Did I miss
This
it?
is no place to loaf around.
Oh, it's in there. We can help him out in looks like a domain. I don't know which domain. Okay, let's roll. Okay. Let me pop it in. Let's see here. 627 760 047. There we go. My favorite is just like you spawn in and like someone's standing on someone else's head. Do you want me to look at your Hu Tao build? It's like you are a simp apparently, right? 51 120. Okay. With white tassel? Looks like someone didn't scrap all their white tassels from the chest like I did. That was smart.
To strike your foe takes
okay.
mind, arrow, and bow.
This is a very free-to-play Hu Tao. Crimson Witch 2-piece. Pyro bonus, obviously if you can get that to a 5-star, it'd be solid. Lemon, it's in the chat somewhere. I mean, you should be able to get a 2-piece out of this, right? Like your feather. Your feather is okay, actually, but if you can, I mean, like this would even getting if you're gonna roll 2-piece that are 4 stars, if you can get the 2-piece out of that would be good, right? Because you can actually a 2-piece of A 2-piece of that, let's say you got a Berserker with decent substats. A Berserker flower would be better than the 2-piece Crimson Witch. Probably. Power bonus is nice, but I actually don't know that it's doing that much for you in your current build. But getting more crit rate would be good for you. I'm ready. I'm ready. I think use whoever you want. I would say generally a pyro. I would say because it's a pyro, or sorry, a cryo, lava turtle, and a cryo mage are the enemies. I feel like I can just run Bennett. Hey, welcome back, Moon. Should be pretty easy, I think. If you actually, you can use anyone you want, because Bennett is C6. You're gonna end up infused anyway, don't matter. Okay.
Into the wind. Go ahead. You're on that. Get out
What are you gonna do? If you hold Bennett's skill, it does like a very strong knockback. Not as strong as Jeans, but pretty strong. Yeah, I can stun him. Number 1 stunner. Yampe's pretty good, actually. Kaching is not that good, sadly.
Toodaloo.
Sadly, Kaching is pretty much outclassed. If you're running Electro, a C0 Raiden, yeah, C6 Bennett has been busted, bro. This does apply to Yanfei also. Even though she's a catalyst, everyone gets that bonus, 15% pyro bonus. The fact of like Kaching is like C0 Raiden is more damage. That wasn't my Bennett probably. My Bennett is full like healer bot build. Yeah, if you don't have Raiden, then you can be okay. But also like Pixel Beto as a team is already better off field as a, like electro damage than Kaching is on field. God, I'm so good. It's not like Kaching isn't viable, it's just like Kaching has just been sadly outmatched. I I've been really enjoying using Yunjin and Kaching. So my favorite Kaching team right now is Kaching, Beidou, Yunjin, Xingqiu. So Taser, Kaching, and then using normal attacks on Kaching because their charge attacks are kind of a stamina drain. They knock enemies back, etc., etc. But using normal attacks is actually pretty fluid. I also think like if you were gonna play Kaching, her most viable team is Quick Swap. In the same team, you would run her with Raiden. It's just a worse Raiden hyper carry team. So if you use Kaching, Kazuha, C6R, and Bennett, it is
Team, assemble!
it's just worse than running Raiden. But you actually can run Raiden Kaching. Either like as a Sarah substitute or as a Kazuha substitute. So actually, like because if you have like C1 Raiden, then like Kaching can give the decent burst damage, and then also the resolve stacks for Raiden because people like that. I kind of think that like it's just a worse version of your alternative team, but it's not like it's not viable. Like yeah, Last Barrier is pretty sweet in co-op. Okay.
Everybody stand back!
Adorn my night! One with nature!
Light it up!
The wind knows.
Going in! Get out of here! That's gonna hurt in the morning!
Time to kick!
Is spinning or like launch roll is probably my favorite thing in the game, probably. Just spinning in the air. If you can get him like sucked up into Venti's burst doing that, it's even more fun.
Why do they never miss? Take cover!
I mean, it's 15. I don't know if it's like that much more, but it's a jump. 15%. 15% power bonus is decent. It's, you know, it's noticeable. My town's only at level 11 also. It is worth probably crowning it, but I'm lazy. I don't really like Bennett that much. I also use this on him because I don't like to use him on field at all, so never ever having to have him like even use a skill pretty much. Pretty nice. Just like once and done.
Light it up! Everybody stand back!
Adorn my night!
It's good for shield breaking now.
Time to go!
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Motion to compel. Take the heart. High and high for blood fire.
Get fucked, dude. That's very pleasing. It's also Kazuha buffing your pyro damage too. Fish is in the shop. I don't know when.
Wherever in this world I roam,
You can buy her right
memories of my
now.
home.
What are we doing?
Remember for
What? Why don't you buy official from the shop? Like today. What are you doing? You gotta get her out of the shop. Who knows when she's gonna be on a banner? You can get her right now. I was gonna be like, I don't know when she's gonna be in the shop. She's in the shop right now. Pick her up. What are you doing? Oh, that's sad.
everybody stand back. Into the wind.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Cross over. Time for your raven. Go in. Get out of here.
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Yeah, I think it's true. Maybe you email me Hoya, they'll send you Stark letters.
Everybody stand back. Into the wind. Visible evidence.
I mean, I think she's gonna be back. I think this shop's on like a 6-month rotation or something. I think like if you don't get her now, you wait till the next banner. I mean, it's been a long fucking time since she's been on a banner, which makes you think she should be on a banner soon.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Yeah, I know that's the rumor. I know that, well, that is true that there was, but I think that's a rumor that that's the reason why. She's on same voice actor, and she's in Honkai, and she just ran there, so I don't think that's the reason. Young's pretty good with physical officials.
Black fly. Observe.
Official's cracked in this game. What do you mean? Off field, she's great. She's solid. I use her a lot in this game. I use her largely with Kokomi, sometimes with sometimes with Yoimiya, and I guess that's pretty much it. The Kokomi taser. Messenroy's here.
What a sight to behold. Behold, the sun, so warm and radiant.
He's here. I guess if I use Mona to apply Hydra for you, I need to get her burst up. Though. I don't know. Sometimes they just show up. I get why people don't see Six Bennett, but I also think it's like a little bit tired to be like not to just assume that C6 Bennett is bad. I think that is a like 1.1 type critique. That is like no longer really valid. I think if you know you don't care about C6 Bennett because the like, 2 team comps that he ruins you don't use, then like just
There are
C6
leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Delved into destiny.
I'm ready.
Casual 76,000. No big deal. Casual 76k charge attack from Mona. No big deal. No big deal.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home.
Yeah, that's no
It
Bennett.
is the last link
I think that
have to
was
the
with
land of my
Kazuha.
birth.
I think that was Kazuha's buff and then vaporized. Yeah.
Motion to compel.
Moon, you can take my spot after this. I'm gonna be hopping off soon. If y'all want to keep co-oping, y'all should just do it. I know it's not as cool when you're not like broadcast to like dozen people on stream, but may as well. Y'all can keep co-oping. But after this next one, I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, go ahead and start it up. I'll pop Mona's. I just got Mona's burst. So if you want to try out your Hu Tao, I'll pop Mona's burst so you can do your thing. No, we can do one more. I just got Mona's burst up so I can buff your Hu Tao. Did you want to try? Did you want to try Masanori one more or no? This time with Mona's burst. It should be like pretty big numbers for your Hu Tao.
When the sun's
Wind
out,
striker.
bathe in sunlight. But when the moon's out, bathe in moonlight.
Can't tell you're starting it. Oh, you can't just fight him. Oh, I see. I thought you were saying you gotta do the story quest, so you didn't want to co-op.
Time to go.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Alright, then I'll probably hop off here. If y'all want to keep messing around, you can drop your UID back in the chat, otherwise in the chat. Or you can hop in the Discord. Discord link is in the description if you want to meet up and do some more co-op. I'm gonna hop off stream. I will say I will be streaming a couple times this upcoming week. Probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday and Thursday. And then actually the week after that, I will be starting a new job. Cool for me. I don't know what that's going to mean for my stream times. My guess is I will end up having to stream later in the day. Probably like 3 hours later than my normal time. I know that might screw up some people's ability to chill on the stream. But I obviously don't have a choice. So I apologize about that. Yeah, I mean, I'll still stream and stuff like that, but the time might change. I won't know yet fully when my new stream schedule will be. I've been trying to keep it at the same time, but I am gonna probably have to bump it a little bit later. So, alright, but again, I'll be chilling in the Discord and stuff like that. I will catch y'all later. Peace.